I now invite our esteemed chief guest, Dr. C. Tamilselvan, to deliver the graduation day address. Please, sir.
So, Vanakkam. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for the beautiful introduction given to me, madam. I am grateful, and I would like to thank Aalim Muhammed College of Engineering, Chairperson, Vice Chairperson, Secretary, Joint Secretary, Managing Trustee, Principal, Professor, staff, special invitees, esteemed parents, distinguished guests, and my dear student, for inviting me today to join the celebrating of 17th graduation academic achievement event. Dear students, it is filled me with immense pleasure to see the bright face around the auditorium. I understand it is not an easy task to get here. The journey must have been long and challenging, but you are finally here, surrounded by friends and family as you get ready to step into the world as a graduate. This title signifies one thing no one can take away from you, your education. I understand that at this point, some if not of you might have question in your mind, question such as, what now? What is next? Where do I go from here? I can assure you that these are valid questions. I knew this because I was once a student like you are now, with the same question and anxieties, unaware of what the future held in store for me. After going through the life journey, I wish that I had an answer for these questions. But the reality is there is no one answer that I can give that would apply to all of you. So, however, instead of the solution, I can tell you the story of my life so far. And it may be a lesson I learned from these challenges, mistakes, and the complexity can help some of you answer these questions yourself. I was born in the early of 1960s in the small village outside town of Attur in Salegh district. My parents were small farmers. We had just enough to feed ourselves with not lot left much else. My life began not different from the origin of many people in our country. We might be a developing nation now, but the time around when I was born was a lot different. However, it was not as if I was at complete loss. A few things that I had at the start helped me get to where I am now. My parents are firm believers in education. My father was very particular about this. He was a firm believer in Dravidian principles, and I was well aware of the benefits of education. I was unfortunate that he did not get chance to pursue it. Still, he was determined to ensure that his son would be able to explore the path of education. From the speeches and writings of erstwhile Dravidian leaders, he knew that only education could break the cycle of poverty. The two other supports I had during my life were verses of Tirukkural and the writings of Periyar. Between the two, I would like to borrow the words of Tiruvulluvar for the majority of the story as it holds most of the relevance to you all. So many Kural have inspired me through the years, but for today, I would like to share 4 Kurals that have played a part during 4 significant phases of my life. The first phase in my school and education, colleges, let me begin this with one of my favorite Kural, Tottanai Thooru Manakeni, Mandarku, Kattanai Thooru Marivu. தோண்ட தோண்ட ஊற்று நீர் எவ்வாறு அதிகரிக்கிறதோ அதே போல தொடர்ந்து படிக்க படிக்க அறிவு பெருகிக்கொண்டே இருக்கும். I like this particular Kural for the reason other than its meaning. In English, the simplified definition is that deeper you dig the well, the more the water flows in. Similarly, the more people learn, greater the society's wisdoms. The analogy of the well, this home for me as a remind me for my childhood. As I said earlier, and I will repeat it with pride, I am a son of small farmer. I grew up with the field of helping my father. The reason my company operates in agrochemicals space can be traced back to my time in the field and my determination to play a part in improve our farming community general well-being. A farmer knows the importance of well that can be reliable source of water. It is water, after all. That is the basis of their livelihood. I want to think that this is understanding prompted my parents to keep pushing me to pursue higher education. They understood that the education is a key to breaking the cycle of poverty. Therefore, ensure that they will take all the necessary steps to facilitate my pursuit of higher education every year when we get little money after the harvest. Like the two examples in Kural, my father would spend my education and the rest on deepening of wealth. Thanks to this, I found myself in the same place you all find yourself now. As a student, I wondered if all this was worth it, or all this was just an expensive endeavor. Some of you might have this same question. I can assure you that they are not. It will take time for you to understand it. It took time for me to well. The value of my education became clear to me in the subsequent two phases of my life, family and company. In my phase, the subsequent two phases are interlinked and intertwined. Without my family, my company would not have come into the existence. Why? Even during my studies, the one thing that I was clear about was my ambition to start my own company. Although even during this time, I wondered if my education was worth it. I knew that it was end goal because I had early realization that I don't want to work in building someone else's dreams. So big or small, I was sure that I wanted to know as a own company. What form it takes, not something I had figured out yet. That day will come later. As the Kural in Kalamaridal goes, அருவினை என்ப உளவோ கருவியான் காலமறிந்து செய்யின் செயலை செய்து முடிப்பதற்கு ஏற்ற திறமைகளுடனும் தந்திரங்களுடனும் உரிய காலத்தை கொண்டு ஒரு செயலை செய்தால் செய்வதற்கு அரிய செயல் என்று ஏதோடும் உண்டா? Is the meaning there is no much such a things in difficult task for those who act with the right instrument at the right time. I knew what I wanted to do, but as the Kural says, I had no wait for the right time. Even if I had the proper tools, thanks to my education, the time come when I got married and I had a child. Many people from various walks of life I had spoken about marriage and how it changed one's life. Many of them usually only touch upon briefly, or if it is as something implied to view the person who come into your life as your equal partner, someone with their hopes, dreams and ambition. It is easy as a man in the society to forget influential role women have in our life. The sacrifice they make and the support they extended are something that may take in granted. However, without them, most if at all, man we see the examples of success won't be where they are, whether they like to admit it or not. In my case, I would be the first to admit that one of the most important reasons my success would be my wife, Dr. Tamilselvan. She is not only the backbone of my family, her determination to further herself in the climbing of academic ladder also gave me the strength to take the plunge into the starting my research organization. During the initial years of research facility founding, money was hard to come by every month. It was struggle to ensure that the employees were all paid. The only way I could manage this was thanks to the support of my family. However, the lesson here is not to wait till you get married. Instead, it is about waiting for the right circumstance. Even if it takes years, you will need patience to proactiveness to create the right moment. I am not a believer in fate. However, the one thing I strongly believe in that you should never stop picking yourself up every day, no matter how difficult life gets, as it is the only way to push the boundaries and reach for success you hope and achieve. Many of you will now started receiving advice, getting jobs, marriage, home, etc. Essentially what people define settling down. But before you take this advice, take a moment to reflect on what you really want and what defines success for you. Then find the answer to that question and start working towards it, stopping only to pick yourself when the challenge inevitably comes to your way. Along the way, there will some friends and family who will tirelessly support you. Do not let them go. As the Tirukural says, அன்பு மரணம் உடைத்தாயின் இல்வாழ்க்கை பண்பும் பயனும் அது. இல்வாழ்க்கையில் அன்பு மரணம் உடையதாக விளங்குமேயானால் அந்த வாழ்க்கையின் பண்பும் அதுவாகவே அமையும். I understand this because no matter that happens in life, do not forget to love and share your success amongst those who stood by you. An important lesson to carry on the final part of my speech is success and failure. I want to think that I am a reasonably successful. My dream when I started was to employ at least 15 scientists. Today that number is close to 250. Many knows what reaching their goals feels like, but equally many don't. It shows that success and failure are simply two sides of same coin. There is an element of luck to it at the end of the day. However, what is important is how we handle them and characterize to retain. மேலிருந்தும் மேலார் அல்லர், மேலல்லர் கீழிருந்தும் கீழாளர் கீழல்லர். பண்பு இல்லாதவர்கள் உயர்ந்த பதவியில் இருந்தாலும் உயர்ந்தோர் அல்லர், இழிவான காரியங்களில் ஈடுபடாதவர்கள் தாழ்ந்த நிலையில் இருந்தாலும் உயர்ந்தவர்களே ஆவார்கள். It means that those who succeed but don't have the characters of a learned person are not successful. But those who face difficulty but still manage to retain kindness are the one who truly succeed. With this, I would like to offer my concluding thoughts. If there is one thing you want to take away from this, it would be that should never forget to keep trying to reach for your goal, no matter how hard it gets. Along the way, don't forget who you are and who stood by you during the journey. As the principal said in the introductory speech, the college education gives you the basic needs for this, suspended task, but those are not enough. And remember that longest journey is a journey inward. And since graduation is but the starting point of the journey, I wish you success, reach the goal yourself, teach others to march towards the goal and let the goal be. Once again, I congratulated all the graduate students of Aalim, Muhammed Salegh College of Engineering. My greetings and best wishes to all your success in the entire mission. With that, I would like to thank management for inviting me to this wonderful occasion and thank you everyone. இறுதியாக நம்மால் முடியாது யாராலும் முடியாது, யாராலும் முடியாது நம்மால் மட்டுமே என்ற உயர்ந்த எண்ணத்தை எடுத்துக்கொண்டு சென்றால் உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையினுடைய எல்லையை உங்களால் அடைய முடியும் என்று கூறி வாய்ப்பளித்தமைக்கு நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகின்றேன். வணக்கம், நன்றி.